This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, welcome to the afternoon show presented by ESEN. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Oh, going pretty good. Not too bad. Not a lot going on in sports. We had such a big run there with the NBA and everything going on. Now things are, things gonna pick up with baseball after the All-Star break. That'll pick up, and then NFL's not too far out, so things will pick back up. First, I want to go into NBA. Looks like the Phoenix Suns are close to reaching a waive and stretch buyout deal with Bradley Beal, and they're saying the team that looks like would be the front runners for him would be the LA Clippers. We'll get your thoughts on Beal being out of Phoenix and possibly going to the Clippers. What do you think?
I think it's a smart move for Phoenix. They paid him a lot of money. He had that no trade clause, and they and kind of handcuffed him. He really didn't work out with Durant and Booker, Devin Booker, the way they thought he would. I don't know if he's going to fit in any better in with LA. So I don't know if he goes to the Clippers. So I don't know how good of a move that would be for the Clippers. But I do think it's smart for Phoenix because they needed to get Bill off their books so they could try to start moving in a different direction, especially now that they had got rid of Durant as well. So it's going to be more of a probably retooling and trying to build around Booker again.
Yeah, Bill has 2 years left on his contract, $110 million left on it. So be interesting, but they're working on that. They think they've got that pretty close to being done. Man, that would Clippers would have a lot of players on that team. How would Bill get the ball on that team? It'd be interesting, though. Of course, Bill probably knows, his, I don't want to say his time's done in the NBA because I don't believe that necessarily. But he may be, hey, I'd like to win a championship. If I go in there and fit in there, maybe I could be the missing piece to get to the next level. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Also in the NBA, the Orlando Magic and Pablo Banchero agreed to a max deal worth up to $287 million. So that's a big thing there for Orlando and for Banchero. Looks like Orlando's trying to lock up that team, and for the future, they've got a lot of young players. A lot of people. There's some people think that there could be the team to beat this year. I still think they're a little bit of ways away, in my opinion, but they're definitely on the rise. What do you think?
No, I think it was a smart move getting Banchero signed. He's a real good player, and it was Suggs, and they have somebody else too. I can't remember the other player. And then they just got Bain. I think they were pretty good last year. They were, especially toward the second half of the season, they were starting to play some good basketball. I think and adding Bain and a shooter, I think is going to help them a lot. I don't think they'll compete for like a real deep playoff run. Like I don't expect them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, but I do think they could be a playoff team and maybe be in like the top 6 where they wouldn't even be in the play-in. I think they'll have a lot better year this year, but you always have that kind of year where you have some growing pains. So I can see them having some of those toward the end of the season. But I do think they're going to be a much improved team and probably I would say run around maybe a 5-6 seed.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I could see them being a 5 or 6 seed. Yeah, I think it's a good deal for.
Oh yeah, Banchero's tough.
Yeah, he's a hell of a ball player, so it's good for both parties there. Next thing up, one thing that we found out officially. Actually, I watched this podcast, the Pacer podcast. I watched it a couple of times. I don't remember the name of it now, but it's the guy was talking, and he did a 30-minute interview with Pritchard, the general manager of the Pacers, and and found out during that James Wiseman is officially back with the Pacers. They have signed him. They still got to get Isaiah Jackson signed, but I think they feel that's a formality that will get done. Also found out during that show that when they talked to Pritchard that they didn't even have the opportunity to they talked to Turner. They were in talks. Maybe Turner wasn't happy with the offer, and Milwaukee made an offer, and it was over. They didn't even get a chance to counteroffer that. So, what do you think about that? Not getting an opportunity to counteroffer with Turner, and also with Wiseman coming in, and then also, do you think the Jackson, Wiseman, and Huff is going to equal, or maybe even be as good as what they're losing, and for a lot less money? So, your thoughts on that?
Well, with Turner, I had heard that some people say that Miles Turner, they felt like Miles Turner kind of done the Pacers wrong. Because you heard a lot of people complain about the Pacers being cheap, and the Pacers handled it wrong. I've heard some, read some stuff and heard some stuff that kind of like what Pritchard had said, that there was no more, like there was no communication. Just all of a sudden they found out that he was a Buck. So I knew there was some people that felt like he done the Pacers wrong. Hey, the Bucks might have offered him a deal and said, "Hey, you got to take it now," or I mean, there's different circumstances. So, hey, if you wanted to move on, that's up to you. You got the money you wanted, and it works out for him. As far as James Wiseman, that's who I thought they were going to go get. I told Stevie last week before we traded for Huff, I thought they were going to bring Wiseman back, because they liked Wiseman last year when he was with us, and he got hurt early in the season. They ended up having to release him because of roster spots. So no, I like the pickup. I think he fits in good with our team. And then I think Huff will fit in good as well. So, I mean, we got some big guys now. That was something toward the end of the season we kind of lacked, was big guys because of injuries, where Jackson was out, Wiseman was out. So we had to go. We went and picked up Bradley, which we re-signed. Excuse me. So with Bradley, get down. So with Bradley and Wiseman and Jackson, I think Isaiah Jackson's going to have a big year. I think he's going to kind of make a name for himself. He showed a lot of potential before he got hurt, and looked like he was making that jump last year, of the jump that they thought he was going to make, and then he got hurt, so we didn't really get to see the whole season of it. Coming off an Achilles, so it's going to be interesting to see how he comes back. But I think that's kind of why they got Wiseman and Huff. You have Bradley, that way you can kind of bring Jackson in. You don't have to, if you want to, you can bring him along a little slow. So I like what the Pacers have done. I think we're going to still be a competitive team. Are we going to be a team that's competing for a championship next year? Chances are probably not. I mean, we're not going to have our best player. Pritchard also announced that Halliburton wasn't going to play at all next season, that they weren't going to risk trying to push them back too soon or anything. So even if they make a playoff run, it sounds like they're not bringing him back. I kind of like he went, because I kind of like he went ahead and said that way, because even if they do make a playoff run, he's already said that there won't be all the questions about is Halliburton going to play. And then if something happens and he does play, okay, but at least all the talk wouldn't be about is he going to play or is he not going to play. So I do kind of like that he already came out and said that, because if something changes and you decide that you are going to play him, it ain't a big deal. But that calms down a little bit of the noise. But I think it's a smart decision not to play him next year. But we're still going to have a pretty good team.
Yeah, I think so too. I like what the Pacers did. Of course, Wiseman's coming off an injury too, so I think that's one reason why they re-signed Bradley and Huff, because they may be the two guys who'll be starting off, because them guys might not be quite ready at the beginning of the season, or how far along they are. Maybe they can play, but maybe limited minutes at first. I like what they did I think getting Huff gives him a guy that shoots well from the 3-point, run the court, can protect the rim. I think Isaiah Jackson can protect the rim. I think Wiseman, I think still a lot to prove there, but I like him. Bradley in small quantities, I think will be good. So I think, we're talking about replacing Turner for a lot less money. And I think we'll still get pretty good results. So, I mean, not that I want Turner to go. I'm a big Turner fan. All he did for the city and, had that all set up with the Turner block and all that thing. It's sad
I was
that's
gonna say,
gonna be
some of our
gone.
friends, some of our friends got to go to a lot of free Pacer games because
Yes.
of Miles Turner.
Yeah, so Turner's fantastic. I'm sure he'll probably be fantastic there in Milwaukee too. Milwaukee's is a Midwest town, also kind of like Indiana. So I think he'll do well there, and I hope he has success. Just as long as it's whenever he plays the Pacers, he loses.
I'd take the over. I think we'll win more than. I think we'll win at least 45 games.
What we play 80,
82.
82? Yeah, I think so. Because we didn't win. Well, we won last year 50, but we got off to such a terrible start. We was 10 or 15 to start the season, and then we was one of the better teams in basketball after that. After like January 1st, yeah, I think we have a good chance to win 45 or more. I think so. I really do. I think because I think we got the right coach for that team. I think that's a big part of it. And not that we're not going to miss Halliburton. We're going to miss Halliburton. I think more than anything, his leadership, man, just his leadership. If you watched him on the court and off the court, how he led that team. So I think it's definitely a big miss.
It's going to be a big miss.
But still excited for the NBA next year. The West is going to be crazy. East is going to be interesting. A lot of storylines. So the NBA should be good next year. Moving on to a little bit of baseball. The San Diego Padres, Manny Machado, got his 2000 career hit. Joins the rare club. Not a lot of players have done that. Thoughts on that? I know that is the judge's favorite player, Manny. He loves him. But your take on that?
Oh no, Manning's he's a good hitter, so it don't surprise me that he's gotten 2,000 hits. And didn't no, I think that was a different player I'm thinking of that missed some time, or he probably would already maybe had got it. But no, I mean it's always cool to see guys reach some milestones. It'd been better if it had been against the Dodgers, just because then that would have made the judge real happy.
Well, the sports judge was real happy last night after their 4th loss in a row. He's already given up the season. Dodgers ain't going to repeat. They suck. They're still got one of the best records in baseball, but they suck.
He wouldn't survive as a fan of a team that wasn't good.
No, there's no way. Try to be a Reds fan, or we're just hoping to be competitive. And you got 55, 56 wins right now, and even though you lost 4 straight, the season's over. Come on, man. But I watched some Padres games, late games when I watch baseball. I watch the Dodgers quite a bit because again, my wife's a Dodger fan. Machado's a hell of a player. Moving on a little bit, our Reds didn't do real well last night.
No, game was 1-0. I looked away for a few minutes to go. I ran to the gas station and to grab some food. And I didn't turn it on the radio in the car. I get back and they're down like 5-1. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was 1-1.
Yeah, it was 1-1 when I left.
And I stepped away like you did for a second and checked, and it was 5-1, and I was cussing, but I get over it pretty quick. I know they're the Reds, so I'm just hoping we can. I'm hoping we'll can finish these next 5 or 6 games decently.
We need to finish strong going into the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for against the Marlins. We didn't get off to a good start yesterday, but still got a few games left before the All-Star break. Your take on the All-Star game? No, we both feel like the Reds got a couple of snubs. I think there was a lot of snubs, though. It happens every year. It's not unusual. I thought Abbott was a huge one to be 7-1.
Before I talk about that, let me ask you a question on this because I heard the guy talk about this earlier because he was saying that he would like Soto's not an all-star. He thinks he should be. He says it should be more like that. The stars should be on the all-star team, whether they are having an all-star season at this point or not, because of their name value. What do you think? Do you think it should go by your play, or do you think it should? I know it's pretty much a little bit of both is how it should be, but like this guy saying like Soto and some of these guys that got left off should be on there just because of their name, their name, and we all know that they play at an all-star level, even if they had some struggles this season.
Personally, I think it should go by how the player plays that year. But I also understand, I'm sure the All-Star tickets, I don't know what the prices are, a lot of money. They go to that city, and people that go to the games are wanting to see the big name stars and the home run derby and all this stuff. So if I understand, it's been a popularity contest for years. But the other issue is how are you going to build new stars if you don't reward the guys that are coming up? If they outplay the guy year after year for 2 or 3 years and they don't make the All-Star team, yeah, I mean you got to build. That's one thing baseball struggles with marketing, and so I mean anytime you got a chance to make new stars, I think they need to do so. So
Yeah,
it's a tough question.
I felt like Andrew Abbott definitely should have been an all-star.
7-1 and a 2 ERA. Yeah, I don't know how he's left off.
Like I said, I felt like TJ Friedel had a pretty good case of being an all-star as well.
I do.
I do agree with Dustin saying that Suzuki not making it is one of the worst. Yeah, I don't know how Suzuki didn't make it either from the Cubs. I'm not a Cubs fan, but Suzuki's having a hell of a year.
Well,
I think he should have been on there as well.
Yeah.
But
the one I looked at,
we should. But Andrew Abbott not being on there to me is just crazy as well because like there ain't many pitchers pitching any better than him in the National League. Like he's pitching pretty damn good.
Well, you got Skeens. He's 4-7. Of course, he's got one of the best ERAs, and he's how many times has he lost games? 1-0. So I understand that. But you got the pitcher from the Dodgers. His name escapes me, and not that he's not good. He's 8-6, and he does have like a 2.50 ERA. So I mean, he's a good quality pitcher. But the Dodgers have a lot of players on the team. I mean, they got Kershaw on the team, and he's not played that many games this year. I think he is like 4-0 right now, but his ERA.
Yeah, they've done that special commissioner spot.
Yeah, I don't like that. If they're going to add a special commissioner spot, it shouldn't have took away from anybody else. I don't know if it did. Now I could be wrong. Maybe he's special and it didn't count against the other spots. I'm not sure on that, so I don't want to misspeak. But yeah, and I know I'm a Reds fan, but you got a guy 7-1. I don't understand why Abbott didn't make it. So, but there's snubs every year, and I wonder sometimes if players might be relieved not to have to go to the All-Star weekend and just have the time off too, and but is that in Atlanta?
Yes.
And Atlanta's a busy place this weekend. WWE's there Saturday and Sunday. Beyonce's got a concert Sunday night there, and then WWE's got 2 shows there Saturday, 1 show Sunday, Beyonce on Sunday, and then you got the baseball Monday and Tuesday. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else? I do have a couple other things we can save for tomorrow. Like I said, the sports is light right now.
Yeah. No, I really didn't have anything else.
Yeah, sports a little light right now. So we'll call the show. We'll be back tomorrow. We got some couple interesting topics, and then we'll see what news comes out for tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, please hit that excuse me. Please hit that subscribe button on the YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room and at ESCN. Also follow us on all social media. We appreciate everybody watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow.